Yeah, we rolling with it, baby. We rolling with it. What's up, everybody? Thank you for tuning in. Welcome back to the Thursday night live stream. Kind of late tonight. Little bit of a late of a show tonight. Had some technical difficulties. Sierra had a gig that he's doing, so he won't be with me tonight. I'm gonna make this kind of fast. Again, I was having issues earlier today. Of course, trying to get this set up, man. My laptop wasn't wanting to work properly, but I am here, and I think it's important that I'm here, because there's a lot of stuff going on right now. A lot of stuff going on right now. Let me catch my breath. Cheers. Coca-Cola, going back to cane sugar, huh? Pretty damn good. Pretty good. I'm going to miss that syrup. Anyways, guys, I have never been more bullish on Ethereum than I am right now. Is a post that I made yesterday. Today, I want to talk about why I said that. There's a fundamental difference in how Ethereum is moving right now compared to previously failed breakouts from the last 2 years, man. Yeah, needless to say, Ethereum has been underperforming quite a bit. And now is the time, I think, and a lot of people think, because there's things on the charts that I'm seeing that we haven't seen the last 2 years. We're going to take a look at Lux Algo, take a look at some charts and what I'm seeing there. And then also on a fundamental level, right? We're seeing a few companies that are selling their Bitcoin, man, going into Ethereum. So we're going to talk about that, why they're doing that, and discuss that a little bit further, guys. We're going to take a look at some charts, give some price targets, price predictions. I know it's late. We're going to make it quick, though. And I promise you're going to want to stick till the end of the video to get all of this information. Tomorrow is a big day for us. Sierra's going to be sitting down with Hunter from Off-Chain Labs. Arbitrum, we're going to get a full Arbitrum update. So make sure you guys tune in tomorrow, 12 o'clock. I'm not sure if he's going to be streaming live with that or if it's going to be a recorded video. But either way, it's going to be good, and you're not going to want to miss it. So with that being said, let's move on here. And I want to start off with the chart. I want to start off with the chart here because I think this is huge. This is important because this is the data we get. This is the price action that we see. There's a lot of things on here that I find very interesting. And I think you will too. If you're not an ETH bull, I think that I'm going to change your mind. And even if you're not an ETH bull, I'm sure you have altcoins. This is good for the altcoins. If ETH is doing good, the altcoins are going to do good. So pay attention. Pay attention, man, because you can make a lot of money. All right. I want to start with the ETH to Bitcoin chart, okay? The ETH to Bitcoin chart. And as you can see, a lot of people are going to make the argument, and I get it, dude. It looks completely different. You know, back here, that was the 2017 bull run or whatever. And then you look at the 2020 bull run, 2021 bull run, and they look completely different. And the reason that is because 2017, there wasn't near as many altcoins. We didn't have the pumped out fund. We didn't have, contract addresses being sent out, everybody going crazy on X, trying to get the next big gem. This wasn't happening, man. Now Ethereum and the altcoins are just so fractionalized, man. The liquidity has just been so fractionalized that, of course, this chart is going to look completely different. But there are some key points in here that I want to show you guys, and I want to bring my attention to the 100 weekly moving average. That is going to be this blue line going through up and down, and this is the weekly chart. So pay attention here. All right, last cycle, right? When Ethereum started losing, when we topped out and Ethereum started losing value against Bitcoin, you can see that we dropped under that 100 moving average. Let me change my cursor here. We dropped under that 100 moving average. We topped out, and that's when we started making lower lows, lower highs, and we were going into the bear market, right? Ethereum and the altcoins, they lose a lot of value towards Bitcoin because people are starting to rotate. They're rotating back into the safer assets and trying to cover their ass, man, on losses, right? Makes sense. So you see that we dropped through the 100 weekly moving average. And when we dropped through it right here, we stayed below it until we finally bottomed out for the cycle and then started moving into another altcoin season. I lined that up with the red here. That is the red until we finally got back above the 100 daily moving average. So all of this is just when we drop below it. And then when we finally come back above it, we had COVID right here. So if you don't mind, just kind of look past this area, because I believe if we didn't have COVID, we just would have rode that 100, weekly moving average until the cycle top. All right. So we dropped through it, down, sideways, and the ups and downs are going to be a little off more than the side to side, right? Because of how fractional the liquidity got throughout the years and the different cycles. So now we take this, we measure from the time that we dropped below it and then the time that we got back above it. About 735, this is the weekly chart. So 735, 745, something like that on the time from the time we dropped below it and then got back above it, stayed above it, and made a new all-time high, or a cycle top, excuse me. All right. Same thing over here, man. We drop below the 100, we stay below it, bottom out, and now we are looking to get back above that 100 weekly moving average. And if you measure that, you can see that, that's around, we're at 770, right? 770, I probably didn't even measure it right, but it's around the same distance. This is the time, right? The white is the overlay from this back here. And again, the side to side is going to be a little more, correlated than the ups and downs because, the liquidity issue. So that is one thing, guys. That is one thing. And then not only that, to pair that with something even better, down below I have the oscillator matrix from Lux Algo. And you can see from the time that we drop below this, you see the money flow right here. This is the smart money flow is going into the red. We're hitting that threshold into the red. And then finally, when we come back above the 100 weekly moving average, that was when we crossed over into the green on the smart money flow, right? We had, of course, they were dumping. The smart money was dumping whenever COVID happened because everybody's unsure and everything was crazy, right? And so we crossed over the 100. We stayed above it, minus the COVID shit. And we flipped into the green right here. And then that entire time that we were in the green, minus the COVID shit, we were in the green. That was our altcoin season, man. That was the altcoin season. And then finally we topped out. We got our top. And then we started going into the prolonged bear market, Ethereum losing its value to Bitcoin. So I say this because look what's happening right now, dude. We crossed back from the green, going to the red on the smart money flow, and we've been in the red. We've been in the threshold below the threshold right here this entire time. And now finally, we're starting to see the ETH starting to gain some value against Bitcoin, and we're seeing that smart money flow starting to roll over. This is huge, man. So if you look at these previous times before, because you can say, well, yeah, I mean, this looks good or whatever, but we did the same thing here. What about this weekly candle that was mega bullish and everybody thought that the bear market was over and altcoin season was going to start? Well, I would say that the money flow was still crossed that threshold, man. There was still a lot of selling pressure back then, right? Nothing's lining up. Not only was the timing not lining up when you compared these two, but on the oscillator matrix, you see the smart money. They weren't buying yet, dude. They were looking at Bitcoin. They were waiting on Bitcoin to get approved with the ETFs and everything. Like Ethereum was not on their mind at the moment, right? It just wasn't the right timing. And you can see we were still deep into the red. Now we're starting to cross over. We're coming out of that threshold and we're starting to come up as Ethereum is coming up, starting to gain value towards Bitcoin. So I just wanted to point that out. I think that is a key difference in the difference between all of these failed fake out or breakout attempts that Ethereum had against Bitcoin back here. And that is my argument. I would say one, timing, and two, it just wasn't lining up with what we've seen happen in the past, man. The time frame wasn't lining up, and we can see smart money was still dumping then. So we'll see, guys. We will see. The biggest thing I think that I want to get out here is that when this rotation happens, right? If you would have tried to rotate into altcoins back here, you got hurt. Like this hurt, dude. You bought altcoins right here because you saw these big green candles and you're like, boom, altcoin season, it's on, baby. And you start buying all the shitters because you think you're about to make it. I mean, dude, I did it too, man. I did it too before I actually saw this and studied the chart. I did the same thing. I'm like, dude, altcoin season here. Let's go. Let's buy some alts, dude. Let's buy the low caps. And that hurt, dude, because we just continued going down. It wasn't the right time. Smart money wasn't buying. Now we're starting to see a little shift, dude. And I think that is the key difference in what I wanted to show. All right. Cool deal. Let's move on here. Let's move on to this. All right. Now, what are some other reasons that Ethereum is looking tasty here? What are some other reasons why I am mega bullish on Ethereum right now, and in return, I'm mega bullish on the alts, right? The high cap alts, the big caps, because of the rotation, right? If we can get that rotation down, what do they say? Time in the market beats timing the market. Bullshit. Not right now, dude. If you can get this rotation, if we can catch this rotation before the alts lift off, we can make a lot of money. And that's what we do, man. We want to be right there with the smart money so we can get those gains. And if we can do that, we're going to make a lot of money. So that's why I think this is so important right now. This is the most important thing right now. You should be totally locked into this, man. Totally locked into this. This is different. It is different right now. You hear it all the time. It's different. No, it really is fucking different. It's different right now. And I showed you why on the charts. I showed you why it's different right now on the charts. All right. Let's move on. All right. I got something else for you. All right. Let's move on to just a few articles here to kind of back up what I'm saying. We're starting to see, it's not the biggest company in the world, but we are starting to see a shift, right? We're seeing Bit Digital revealed its plan to focus solely on ETH staking last month. They went all in on Ethereum after selling all of its Bitcoin. I'm not saying that that's a smart move. Like, if it was me, I probably would not sell all my Bitcoin. But I understand what they're trying to do. They're trying to catch that rotation. Somebody's in their ear. Somebody, they all talk to each other, man. They all talk to each other and, talk about their plans and shit, and these people are talking to people. Like, they know, man. They know. If you think that they're just old cats, from Wall Street and they don't know what the hell they're doing, you're wrong, man. You're wrong. They know what the hell they're doing, man. They've been studying this and they understand that rotation. So they sold all of their Bitcoin. I'm not saying that's the right thing to do, but that is what they did. The NASDAQ listed company raised $172 million from Bitcoin and acquired over 100,000 Ethereum, making it one of the largest corporate ETH treasuries. We're starting to see these things pop up everywhere, the crypto treasury companies, right? So it's only worth $254 million, but they're saying they want to focus on staking, right? They want to focus on staking. And why would they want to focus on staking? Well, because of guys like this, man. Let me look at something real fast. Boom. I like this layout better. Sorry. All right. Because of things like this, man, we got SharpLink Gaming. It's another NASDAQ listed company. 415 ETH in staking rewards, becomes largest corporate holder of Ethereum. They're all competing now. They're all trying to go against each other and get as much ETH as they can now. But real quick, just a little summary. SharpLink Gaming announced that it has become the world's largest corporate holder of Ethereum, 280,000 ETH as of July 13th. Since launching its treasury strategy on June 2nd, the company has earned 415 ETH in staking rewards. 94 of those was done in a couple of days, July 7th to July 11th. They made 94 ETH. And it's not a lot of money. I think the dollar amount was close to $900 million in June 2nd. It was when it started. It's like $900 million. And they made close to $2 million in 1 month off of $900 million in staking rewards. And let me remind you that the price, they're expecting the price to increase. Ethereum has been so underperforming, man. Like, this is the move. I think they're smart. Man. This is super smart. So now they're trying to get as much Ethereum as they can because they understand the rotation and they understand that the rewards that they get from the staking, Ethereum's price is going to increase. So if they can load up on Ethereum and the price is going to increase, I mean, come on, man. That's a lot of money. That is a lot of money. And that's only, $3,300. That's doing the math with ETH at $3,300. So imagine when something like BlackRock comes in and they put, a couple billion, 5 billion, 10 billion, whatever they put in. Yeah, I mean, that's a lot of money. And not only that, they can control the network. I hate to say it, like, I'm not a big fan of the whole staking thing, right? You know what I mean? Like, we're just pretty much going to give them control. Like, they control the banks. They're going to end up controlling the networks, right? That gives them the voting power and all that stuff, which I don't know. That, you kind of make up your own mind about that. But this is the plan. This is what they want to do, man. This is what they want to do. And I think it's smart. I think it's a smart strategy. Smart strategy for sure. All right. Yeah, so Nick will be interviewing Hunter tomorrow, 12 o'clock. Not sure if it's going to be live or recorded, but definitely make sure you tune in and check that out, man. All right, anyways, let's look at the chart. I didn't get the stream last Thursday, man, so I had to jump on real quick and just share my thoughts, man. Share my thoughts. That's all I'm doing. Okay. All right, let's take a look at Lux Algo real fast, guys. So yeah, just keep that in mind, man. Keep that in mind. There is a difference between the way Ethereum is moving right now compared to, previous times. You don't want to look at first. Oh, I just put it on your radar for now, guys. Just so you know, we do have. Where's that damn gap? There it is. There it is. So if you're a swing trader and you're looking to possibly make a trade coming up anytime soon, there is that CME gap. And I want to say, yeah, it's 114 to 115, 116, something like that. So definitely keep an eye on that for sure. I have a limit order in. Where is my limit order in? Is it here? No, yeah, it's right here. So I have my limit order in. Boom. I think it's somewhere in this. Oh, I forget. I'm looking at the wrong chart. Where's it at? What the hell? Well, if I can find it, I'll show you. Yes. Okay. So I have a limit order in right here. So this would be super bullish, even though I think we do continue up here. Even though I do think that, because we're just now breaking out from that bull flag. But I do think that eventually we come back and possibly get a retest of 112. We close out that CME gap and be a good trading opportunity. And then we would retest that area of resistance, flip it into support, and that would just be super bullish. Now, something that I did want to point out was here on the weekly chart for Bitcoin, because this was something that I caught, looking at this legacy trend line resistance or whatever from previous cycles. This is 2017. This was both 2020, 2021 cycle. And the other day we actually came up and hit that when we made our high in December, towards the beginning of the year or whatever. We did come up and hit that. And a lot of people were saying like, dude, it's over. That's it. That's a done deal. And of course, when we came back and we retested this high, flipping this area into support, that's when we were like, oh, hell no, it ain't. It's not over. One, again, the timing just isn't adding up. It's just not the right timing. And we haven't had our alt season yet, man. We got to get our alt season first. But look, we finally broke through it. We came up, retested it, broke through it, and we're sitting above that right now. So just something to kind of look out for. And then also we're kind of putting in this, ascending, broadening wedge on Bitcoin. But the good thing about that is, the top of that is around I think it was like 140. Yeah, 140. And if you extend that over to November, let's say, I mean, you're talking 150, 160. That's a solid 10x, man. I don't see anything wrong with that. Don't let people shame you into taking profits. If you got in at 15K or 40K, 50K, hell, 60K, dude, you are at a 1x right now. If you had a lot of money, that's good money. Take profits, man. There's nothing wrong with that. And if you take profits on green days and you think the top is going to be October, November, December, whatever, trust me, we will have our pullbacks. So do not be afraid. Don't let people shame you into taking profits, man. If you have your targets, stick with your targets. Take your profits like you normally would. If we get a 20% dip, then dollar cost average back into it if you feel like there's still time left in the cycle. Why the hell not, man? You can't go wrong with that. Can't go wrong with taking profits. So anyway, on the weekly, I mean, dude, this thing is looking so good, looking so primed. And then again, we got to look at the reversal side of that. You know what I mean? This area of support is sitting at 100K. Sitting at 100K from where it's at November would be around 96K. So maybe we come back, close the CME gap there. There still is that CME gap all the way down there. I doubt it, but we could. Just keep it on your radar. Confluence bar down here is looking good. A lot of bullish confluence. Smart money flow is deep in the green. Crossed that threshold, that line here that you see. You might not be able to see because my head is in the way. But that line that you see right here, you can see that we are deep in the green. So that is really, really good. And some bullish candles here look great. I think that's all I got, man. I just wanted to jump on for a minute. If there's anything you guys want me to look at, put it in the chat. If you are active right now, if you're chilling, all good, man. Appreciate you for being here. Yeah, a lot of people, a lot of people kind of push ETH to the side, man. They push ETH to the side. They think that, especially the newer guys that come in, they don't really understand, the difference fundamentally of what ETH is, what the EVM is. I mean, there's a reason that even if they are a solo network, they're an independent network, they always turn and become EVM compatible, man, because they understand that if there's no way that they can connect to the EVM, they're not gonna make it. That's all there is to it. They're not gonna make it. All right. And what's good for Ethereum is good for all the L2s. It's good for the side chains. It's good for crypto, man. It's good for crypto. And this thing's been so underperforming. Like, this would be a great time, especially with all the interest that's coming in. BlackRock has been absolutely going insane the last week, loading up the Ethereum bags, which is good to see, finally see. And I think that, a lot of them are going to be following what SharpLink is doing, what Bit Digital is doing, and the many others that are doing the same shit. You know what I mean? So let me get back to this. All right, let's look at some targets real quick, and then I'm going to jump off. Lux Algo. Let me put my hyperwave back on. All right, yeah, and then you can see we also have a liquidity discrepancy here. Inefficiency is what I meant to say. Liquidity inefficiency. Efficiency, yeah, right here on Bitcoin, also back there at the 113 too. So that's just something to keep an eye on, man. I think it would be an awesome limit long if you put an order in back at 112, 113, fill that little discrepancy or inefficiency, and we continue up, man. That would be a really good play. We at least know, even if we come back to 112, we're going to bounce really hard right there. So if anything, it would be a good, quick little long to jump in and out of. So targets, let's see where the targets are on the weekly. I got to show y'all how badass Lux Algo is in a second. Why didn't my targets move? All right, I guess we're still in the process of I might have it mitigated to where the candle's got to close above it before it switches. But on the daily, I just want to show you this, man. Lux Algo is the best, dude. Hold on. Look at this. Look at these price targets, man. I mean, like, dude, you can't get it better than that. Like, look at those price targets. We got our buy in right here. We saw the catcher and the chaser right there flip. We saw our Neo Cloud flip, and it gave us our targets, and it nailed them, dude. It nailed them spot on, dude. Look at that top target. Boom. Bottom target. Boom. And now we're kind of wedged in between them. But, Lux Algo is a great tool. Great tool. Yeah. Great tool. Let's see, Ethereum. How's Ethereum looking? Ethereum's looking great. Targets on Ethereum. We got to cross 4K, man. We got to get above 4K on Ethereum. I think 4K is going to be that blast off, man. We hit 4K. We might get rejected off of it for a second, but I think that we come back up and just slice right through it. So 4K on Ethereum. We've already hit our targets on Ethereum. When this closes, we'll get another targets to the upside. But yeah, we're looking at this area as resistance, which we just hit. And then the one above that is going to be that $41,000 to $4,000 range as well. We got to push through. But if we can get through that, we can continue moving up here on ETH. I mean, ETH is looking good. ETH is looking great. Something to watch out for if Bitcoin does pull back and come back to that 12 to 13, 112 to $113,000 level, then we'll probably see ETH come back to its level as well, which would be around 2,900. But being that it's Ethereum, I think it's showing some strength right here. I think it'll bounce really hard as well. Like Bitcoin's going to bounce when it goes there, but I think ETH will bounce even harder. It's that rotation, man. It's the rotation, guys. If you can get that rotation, you can catch it. When that rotation happens, which I believe is happening now, you're going to make a lot of money. And that is the most important part of this bull run, is catching that rotation from Bitcoin into ETH, into the big caps, mid caps, low caps, micro caps, and then back into Bitcoin, then into USDC. Or if you can catch that, that is going to be the game changer. But you have to know when to start making that rotation happen, and then you have to know when to start taking profits and selling. And we're going to try to keep you guys up to date on that. I've already kind of expressed what my plan is to do that. And I think Sierra's done a good job at doing that as well. So, yeah, man, every Thursday night, guys. Sorry, this is a late one. I just really wanted to jump on. It's been a week, and I'm not going to be able to be at the interview tomorrow, but 12 o'clock tomorrow, guys. Hunter's coming on. It's going to be a lot of fun. So make sure you tune in. And that's all I got, man. That is all I got. Solana's been doing pretty good. It's retesting previous resistance right now. We could probably pull back. We got that inefficiency as well here back at 165. So we could come back at 165. We have our trend catcher right here sitting right below that 164, something around there. So, we could get a nice little pullback here in the next couple of days, but I think that it's going to be a good opportunity to go long, man, and continue this bull run. I think now is the time. I've showed you on the charts why I believe that, why I think that rotation is starting to happen. Let me know in the comments, man, what you think. But I believe it's starting to happen, and there's key differences. If you go back, watch the full video, you'll see the key differences and why I believe that. So please make sure you do that. Please leave a like, and make sure you're subscribed to us on all socials at the Crypto Remora. Make sure you're following Sierra as well, at Sierra Crypto, and myself at Crypto MacGyver. Much love, and until next time, peace out, guys.